This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day and of the week. So we're taking a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, and natural gas. We're also going to look at the indexes, your Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. And we're going to take a look here at NVDA and at PLTR. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin daily chart all stretched out nicely here. Now, you can see here how we just have this really nice, good rally going on here, okay? So I've been pointing out this left shoulder here, the head with a double bottom, and the right shoulder, and now she's ripping up. Now, if we take this bottom here of this inverse head and shoulders, and we take it to the neckline, and we flip that over, that's about 14,000 points, and that should get us to about 105 if it all plays out nicely. Okay, so let's just take a look here at the upside. So what we're looking at here is 96,780. That was our high today, okay? So what we're doing, we're looking at this top of this candle, okay, 95,705, went a little above that. So your next in line here is going to be 96,625. Okay, and then we'll come up top of this candle here, 98,990, and then we'll just bring this price channel across. We're going to be looking right here at that 99,675 level, okay? Then your next level is going to be right at the top of that candle at 100,765, and then we'll bring this price channel across here. We're looking at right at that 102,635 level, okay? Then we're going to do just follow these candles up here. This is that 103,870. We have 104,920. And then we're going to come right up here at that 106,570. And then we come up here at this 106,949. Now, we always look to the left of the chart here, okay? So you're looking at that 108,960. And then we have your big retest up here at that 110. 150 level. Okay, but again, one level at a time. But I like to show you here exactly where it can go. All we do is just follow the candles up here until we hit that big target. Now, again, we can go up to a 105, and that would play out with that inverse head and shoulders pattern. We'll see if that actually shakes out. Now, downside, we want to watch this price channel here. Okay, so you're sitting right here at that 94,745. Okay, so that was basically just that top of that candle right there. Okay, so that's what we're looking for your support, and then we'll come down to yesterday's low. Okay, so then you're looking at that 91,785 level, and then we're going to start running into this very, very strong support level, this 89,498 level. That's going to be very, very key. And then we can come over here. We look at the top of that candle at that 89,20 level, okay? And then we have that 50-day right below it at 86,951. Then we have your 21-day, obviously, at 85,578 level. But realistically, you can see how nice this 8-day, see how this crossed above? The 21-day, the 50-day, and now she's moving right on up here nicely. So what I'm looking for here is just to have that 8-day play, a little bit of catch up. Okay, so even if we have a little sideways action, as long as that price is above that 8-day, we got a good shot at this running much, much higher. Now, Bitcoin is in play here. It is working out very, very nicely. I'm long the IVIT. I added to the position, and now I'm just going to stay long until I can, until it tells me different kind of a situation. So what we're really looking for here is always watch this key level here. This is going to be that 100-day. See that 93,184. We want to make sure that we close above that. That's going to be very, very key, and close above this 8 SMA. That's another key level here. So what we have here is we have a nice, good series of higher highs and higher lows. This is very nice. Now, yesterday's candle, even though it was a red candle, it was very good for a simple reason. Is see, we had this gap, okay? So if you look at the bottom of that candle, you're looking at 92.05. And then we look at the top of this candle right here, you're looking at 191,970. Now, yesterday's candle got as low as 91,785, so it filled this gap, okay? So that's always nice. Okay, so now that is filled. So now we're just watching here this price channel. This is going to be very, very key on a closing basis. That is that 94,745 along with that 93,186, that 100 SMA here. So right now I'm long, and I'm staying long here over the weekend, and I'm going to see how this is all going to shake out. Now, we have this RSI here. We had that nice positive divergence, and we're only sitting here at 65. You got plenty of room to run. Look at here how we got away to an oversold condition, you know what I'm saying, before we start selling off. But realistically, we got plenty of room to run. Your green is over your red. This is why I always like it when it's sitting at the bottom here versus at the top. All you can do is come on down. But when you're at the bottom, all you can do is just go right on up. So right now, this is really Bitcoin is in play, and I think she goes higher. Okay, let's take a look at here at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily chart. Now you can see here, when you look at this daily chart here, when you look at this here, it's not really a true a flag situation. Oh, what I got away from you there, hey? Okay, let's take this down a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Now, what we have here is it came all the way down. So when you look at this, you step back, you take a look at this. This looks like a bear flag situation, okay? But again, you got to be, we're having consolidation here. And basically, crude is trading on all the news, okay? So if there's a breakout with Iran and say there's a war going on, crude can run up real quick. Plus, we're coming into summer driving here. And then we at the end of the thing towards August, September, we got the hurricane season coming up here. So again, we can't have no opinion. That's the key, okay? But right now, it does look like a bear flag situation. But again, we got to see if this all shakes out, okay? Now, here what we're watching on the downside is even though we went lower, you notice that we closed here above this key 62.78 level, okay? That is your 8-day. Now, again, if that is lost here, what we're watching is the bottom of this candle right here. This is that 153 level, okay? And then we can come down to the bottom of this candle. This is that 60.44 level, okay? So right now, as long as we hold that, we're in good shape. If not, we're going to start ratcheting down here, okay? You have that 59.43 level, then we have that 58.76, and then we have 57.78 level, and then your big retest. But right now, we got this sideways consolidation here, but you can see as the 21 days coming down, the 50 days coming down, the 200 days coming down, 100 days coming up, we got a waterfall going on here. So you got strong resistance. However, if there's a catalyst here involved, you know, like a war or some kind of a situation, some kind of a disruption, it can send crude much higher. So what you always want to watch is watch this key 21 day. This is key 64.22. And then we want to come to the bottom of this candle here. This is that 65.22. So when we look at here, we had 65.22, and then we retested it with 65.29. That was your double bottom to take it long, and then take it up to that 200 day, which it came very close to, okay? Then it came right on down. So as it sells down, now that becomes very good support. It blew through that, so now it's resistance. Now, if we can get above that, then we're going to look to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 66.09, and then we're going to look to that 50 SMA here at that 66.86 level. But right now, we're trading between this 8-day, that 62.78, and that 21-day at 64.22. So we just, basically, this is just a scalp. I've been just scalping UCO. That's all you can really do here until we get some kind of a clarity. If you close above the 100-day, 21-day, then we have this 50-day, 100-day, 200-day situation. If we close below that 8-day, well, then we have the bottom of that candle. That's at 60.44 level, and then we can work ourselves all the way on down. Now, you can see we've got the oversold condition, and now we just have sideways action. So you're about 45. That's not overbought, oversold. That can go either way. Your green is over your red, but it really doesn't mean anything. This is just small trades. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see here what we had. We've got this nice big topping tail. Okay, that's a first sign here that this is going lower. Okay, then what we had here, it came up. We had this double top, 425, 425, double top. Tried to retest it here with this 420, couldn't make it high, and then we got below that 8-day, and then once it goes below the 8-day, well, you can see what happens. Okay, so right now, 8 days on the way down, 21 days on the way down, 50 days rolling over. This is looking ugly. Remember, this is in the shoulder season right now, so there's really nothing here as far as some big trades. Okay, now I haven't traded natural gas today. There was no movement. I usually go for UNG on the long side, KLD for the short side. There just wasn't enough there to worry about. There's a lot better stuff out there to trade. Okay, so what we're looking at here, so far today, we have what they call an inside day. High and low is within yesterday's high and low. So you're watching that 285 on the downside. Now, if that is lost here, then 283, that's going to be your next target. And then we have your 100-day sitting right here at that 274 level. Now, if that's lost here, we just follow these candles all the way down until we can hit all the way to the bottom of this here at that 221. But don't worry about the support and the resistance levels. They're all posted for you right at the end of this video for crude and natural gas. Okay? Now, what you really need to do, it has to get back above this pretty much 3 level, okay? That is your 50 SMA here. And then your next target here is going to be right there at that 307. And then we have your 8-day at that 3.09. Now, Sunday night, when those futures open at 6 p.m., this 8-day is going to be lower, and you'll probably cross over that 200-day, which is not going to be good. But whatever, natural gas has to get back above that 8-day, then we can start running it up here, and we can start attacking some of these other levels. But until it does, this is just sideways to down kind of an action. okay? So now we're getting to the oversold condition here on your RSI. Same way here at the MACD. So a relief rally is not going to be out of the question. So don't go balls out short here and say, oh, no, this is going to go lower. It may possibly, but always look at there. When you start getting these oversold conditions, a relief rally is always can be in play. Okay, let's take a look here now at the indexes. Okay, indexes, daily charts, daily on the Dow, daily on S&P, and daily on the old NASDAQ. Okay, so we're looking here pretty good. Okay, so here's what we have. On the Dow here, we can see how these charts look pretty much the same. See how that 21-day is holding everything up, okay? So it all looks kind of same. Now, your Dow is kind of lagging here behind. What we're watching here on the Dow is that 4088 level. That's that 21 SMA. If we can get above that, then we'll come up to the top of this candle here. Okay, you're looking at 4376 level, and then we can come over the top of this candle here. You're looking at that 4791 level, and then we have this gap in this fill up here. Okay, so always pay attention to that. Okay, so you're looking at that 41173. That's your gap, and then we look for the fill there at 41,629. So your gap and your fill, and then we start running into strong resistance at that 41,671 level. Okay, but always pay attention to those gaps and those fills. Now we're trading basically the same thing. We're trading between this 8-day and this 21-day, looking for this to break out. Now downside, this 39,544, that 8-day is everything, but we also have another gap down there. So you want to look at the bottom of this candle here. Okay, so you're looking at that 39,371. There's your gap. And then we look at the top of this candle right here, 39,272. There's your fill. Okay, so gap and fill if that 8-day is lost here. Now you can see here on the MACD, the green crossed over your red, and we're only sitting at 48. So this has plenty of room to run. Once we crack open that 21 SMA, we could probably aim for that 50-day, possibly even for that 200-day, sitting at 42,207. Now, the S&P here, this is actually looking much, much better, okay? So when you look at this here, see, it's the same chart. You have that 21-day was holding up, but now you can see we're cracking above it very, very nicely, okay? So we got out of this. This was very, very strong resistance right here, okay? So when you look at the top of that candle at that 54.81, very, very strong. And now you can see here where we've broken out of that today at that 55.28 level, okay? So what we're looking for here is we're looking for this fill, okay? See how we have this gap in this fill? Now we're looking for this fill right here at that 55.71 level. And then we can come up to the top of this candle here. You're looking at that 56.27. But this is what your big target is going to be, is that 56.36 level. And then we have to see what is the reaction once it gets there. Does it blast through and head for that 200-day sitting at 57.46? Or does it hit it and then come right on back like we've had here in the past, okay? Now you can see here this has got way oversold, and now we're at 52. Plenty of room to run to the upside. The green is over red, looking very, very good. Now, here we have the NASDAQ. Now, my NASDAQ is always my favorite. Now, easy way to trade the NASDAQ is with PQQQ, okay? I'm long this, I trade this. I mean, it's a sweet basket of NVDA and Amazon and Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, Costco. Everything is in that PQQQ, and it pays a small dividend, okay? So here's what we got going on here. We're watching the same kind of a scenario, okay? It was holding that 21-day, okay? And then finally it broke through, and now look at here, we put in a nice higher high today, okay? So we have this high of a 17,404 level, okay? So now your next level is going to be right to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 17,506, and it will come on top of this candle here, 17,716, and then we're going to be looking for that 50-day at 17,733 level. And then we have to see what the reaction is when it gets there. Same way with here, if it gets there, what's the reaction? And if the Dow gets to that 50-day, what is the reaction once it gets there, okay? Does it blow through and head for that 200-day at 18,338? Or does it hit it and then come right back down? Now, remember, next week is going to be big earnings, okay? Now, Google had really good numbers. Netflix had really good numbers. But next week, you got on 5/1, you got Apple, Meta, and Microsoft on the 30th. You got Amazon, okay? So, and then NVIDIA isn't going to be out till the May 28th. So we've got a lot of time on that one there left. But again, can it force the market right on up? Right now, this is looking very, very good. And I'm going to see if it can head to that 50-day and see what the reaction is. And break this downtrend. See how that downtrend now is broken? Because now we're trying to get up. We get above that 50-day, we can head to that 200-day very easily. Okay, let's take a look here now at NVIDIA and at PLTR. Okay, here we have NVIDIA, here we have PLTR. Now, you can see here on NVIDIA stock now, the stock got hammered all the way down to this 86.62. For the reason is they're going to take a $500 million a write-off or something on that order. I forget what they, yeah, I think that's what they came out and they say. So they're going to take that's a pretty good chunk for a write-off, but they already told you that in advance of the earnings, okay? So that selling part is done. Now, you can still look at this chart here. You can see how that 21-day was holding everything up where you had this high, lower high situation. But now we're starting to run up nicely here, okay? So what we're really looking for here on the upside is right here is that 115 level, okay? That's going to be very, very strong. If we can get above that, then we can do is we come to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 118 level, okay? And then we can come up top of that candle. You're looking at that 122. And then we can come up to this 125 level, which is that 100-day and your 200 SMA here. But let's see what the reaction is if it comes up and hits that 115.25 level, okay? Now, you can see we've got to this oversold condition. There's no, divergences or anything. But again, now we're running back up here. You're only at 52. You got plenty of room to go. Your green is above your red, looking very, very nice here, okay? So we still have a downtrending chart, okay? But if we can crack above that 50-day, then and that 200-day, we can reverse that and take this back right on up here very, very nicely. But see, these blue lines here, these are just price channels. And the reason I like the price channels, first of all, just the highs and the lows of candlesticks, which is very simple. But what I like about it is as it's selling off, it leaves the other mark on the other side. So now all these little ledges here become your upside targets, okay? See how easy that is? That becomes your target. So you just look at the chart and say, oh, okay, I know where it's going next. It's going right here. Oh, I know where it's going next. See, right on and on and on, okay? Then you always want to watch it. Just keep your trading simple, okay? This is an 8-day, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, and a 200-day simple moving averages with price channels, okay? RSI is just measures a lot more than strength. I always look for divergences or anything on that. And the thing I like about the MACD is it shows which way the momentum is going, okay? So just keep your trading simple. That is the key, okay? Now, here's what we have on old Palantir. Now, you can see here, I was calling for this double top situation, which we had this double top. It sold down, but you notice that it's been holding all this key support level. See this? So it got through the 50-day, but it held that 21-day. That's the key. Back above the 50 and 8-day, and now look how nice this is running up, okay? So today's high, we got as high as 111, a 52 level. What we're watching is the top of this candle here. This was that 109 level, got up to that, okay? The next level we're going to be looking for is this a 110 level, and then we can just follow these candles all the way up until we hit that 125.41 level. But it looks like this is very, very nicely. Now, see how this 8-day is crawling up? If this comes down, it sells down, and holds that 8-day, that's still a good buying opportunity to take this higher. Now, your RSI is up towards that 66 there. It still has plenty of room to run. You can see where you can get all the way to this overbought situation. But, it still has room to run. Your green is above your red. That shows good momentum. This stock looks very, very bullish to go higher and possibly retest that 124.41. Now, downside here, just watch this level here because this was almost like a double top situation. Watch that 98, roughly 99 level, okay? And this 8-day, which lines up very, very nice here with that 8-day. That is going to be key. If that's lost, then we come down to that 50-day, and then we have the 21 SMA here, okay? And then we even have this 100 SMA down over here at 85.46. But right now, this looks like a very, very bullish situation. So when you look at this pattern, see you have a left shoulder here, we have a head, and then we have a right shoulder. And then once it breaks out of this neckline situation, she can rip up very, very nicely like it is doing right now. Okay, it's a different pattern than what we got here. This is just like a downtrending pattern, but if we can get above that 50-day, that 200-day, we can reverse that and send that maybe impossible retest of that 153. So don't give up on NVDA yet. I mean, the company's doing like $40 billion in a quarter. I mean, come on, that's a very, 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 very strong company. Okay, that's what I got for you. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll be back here Sunday night as usual at 6 o'clock, and we'll do a video. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll get you started there for the week. Now, this is a TOS Thinkorswim platform, so I can start trading Sunday night actually at 8 o'clock, which works really good. Sometimes I put a lot of trades in that sometimes that hit like even overnight kind of a situation. But basically what we do here is we just trade support and resistance. You buy support and you sell resistance, okay? If you break above resistance, well, then you can add to your position because now you're buying on strength, okay? Which is the same thing, which works out very, very nicely, okay? Just a perfect example is Palantir right here. This was your resistant level, okay? So as long as it holds this level here and say you're long here, if it breaks out of that double top situation, then you can add to your position and take it right on higher. Okay, don't be afraid to add to a position. Even when it goes higher, say, oh, I should have bought it then. No, you can still buy it, because if you're buying it here at that 99 there, look where it is today at 111. Okay, so that's what I got for you. I'll see you Sunday night. Have a great weekend. And remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.